too long ago.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Mack Brothers podcast. Today is a especially sleepy Zoom edition of the Wednesday podcast.
Matthew just woke up and I'm ready to go to sleep.
Yeah, so we're in an in-between phase right here, and it just started raining. I woke up and it just started raining. That's like an invitation to go back. I feel like when it starts raining, anywhere you're at, it's an invitation to just go to bed.
Just wanted to let you know I can mute my background as well.
Yeah, my background this actually looks like this in real life. This is how I look. I walk around. I have a blur behind me.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
What about now?
You sound even clearer than you did before.
All right.
Everyone's listening to like, wow, John just got an upgrade.
What about now?
You sound the same.
All right. Well, I can't hear myself in my headphones, so just a heads
John
up.
can't hear himself in some blur.
So
We just had a Noel Gallagher bracket on Monday Mac, didn't we?
Yeah, I got something else that's more important to say.
Oh, what do you have to say?
I've been obsessed with
Obsessed.
King Von. There's a video called, you know who King Von is, Matthew Persloff?
That's like the alternate universe leader of all the Theovons in the galaxy.
No, they're
Oh,
actually.
I don't know. I don't know.
So you obviously know who Chief Keef is.
Of course.
Do you know who Little?
Yeah.
Do you know who Little Dirk is?
I know that Little Dirk is Little Dirk, but I don't know. It would be like if he knew I existed.
All right, so let me.
I know he exists.
So this, I've been obsessed since the last podcast. I've spent a lot of time. I don't know why the algorithm brought me to this. It's probably because it read my mind and knew that I watched a lot of Beef 1 through 3 back in the day, the VHS tapes.
You were probably the editor on the videos.
So just to give you a backstory, so Chief Keef was the first really famous rapper from that area of Chicago. Like he's the first guy who made drill music. He did a lot for O Block, which used to be called, I think, like Wick Block or something like that.
Gang.
Yeah. So when Chief Keef was becoming famous, this guy named Little Dirk, who's now also a huge rapper from O Block, he was like one of Chief Keef's young bulls, right? And all of Little Dirk. So now Little Dirk's super famous. Like Little Dirk got arrested. He asked Chief Keef for money. Chief Keef didn't give it to him, and then they had like a dispute. Like they had like inner gang war for a little bit. Like Chief Keef's whole house got robbed by like Little Dirk's people. I think they made amends, right? But just to let you know, so I didn't know any of this, but I seen the algorithm gave me a YouTube video called Rap's First Serial Killer, King Von, right?
Okay.
It's 3.5 hours. It is a legit from the moment this kid, little King Von, started like downloading Twitter till he was murdered. It's a blow by blow of how he started gang banging for like the O Block, like that whole area. He was like a legit assassin for that gang. And then he became a famous rapper because he's like Little Dirk's. He was one of Little Dirk's like legit shooters. Like would defend Little Dirk like in a war with and he, and so basically he goes through life. He gets real famous. He's every song he's bragging about how he's murdered people. So you know how Chief Keef says he smokes hookah?
Yeah.
So Tuka is the name of a rival um gang member from Chicago, from like the six. They're called the STLs, or like it's like St. Lawrence Street, and
Yeah.
it's like 60. It's like literally 2 blocks from where they live. And Tuka was like this gangbanger on the other side, and he was murdered by like Chief Keef's people's age, like one of those people. So Chief Keef invented to say, start, if you're smoking Tuka, it means because you're smoking you're they smoked them.
Mm.
So like it means when you say, I'm smoking Tuka, it's Chief Keef's people making fun of this guy Tuka who was murdered.
Mm.
So so like that, couldn't believe it, because I remember you making fun of Chief Keef, you doing the, your
Smoking Tuka to the head.
yeah,
Go to shoot you, then you dead.
yeah.
Like,
Well, this guy was like
yeah.
legitimately shot, and that's why it said they say smoking Tuka. Well, so this guy King Von, the whole time he's murdering people and gang banging, he's tweeting everything, every single thing, and um he ended up like killing, uh he just killed so many. He killed like 11 people,
Jesus.
and he killed 11 people from like 2012 until like 2020. So like it's not like and he would tweet about everything. He would laugh. He would put them when he became a rapper. He would put them all in his songs. Like he literally will. At one point, he was like, "I got 7 bodies." Like he glorified the whole thing. And I just watched this whole documentary on this dude's life.
So, what's up with this guy? What are we getting to here?
I don't know why it just overtook my whole week. Like
That's what overtook your whole week. That's
I
the
couldn't
algorithm's insane.
I couldn't believe that and this the crazy thing. I have a song that I liked from him and Little Dirk, um called Still Trappin',
Hmm.
and I thought that like I didn't know who they were. I just liked the song, like it popped up on my Spotify, and like I was listening to it like 2 weeks ago, and I was just like in my car, and then I see King Von, and I'm like, oh, I know that guy, serial killer. What the fuck? And it's a 3.5 hour documentary, and then I started like finding like short clips of King Von, and he.
What a bunch of losers.
Oh wait, listen to how he was killed. So you know who?
Oh, he's not alive anymore. That's good.
No, you know who NBA Youngboy is? He's another rapper.
Yeah, I've heard the name.
So them two had a beef, right? So literally, King Von has killed 11. He's probably himself killed 7 or 8 people, and he's gotten 4 or 5 more killed, and that's all we know about. I'm sure there's more, because the Chicago Police Department and their city is so messed up, right? Like 80% of murders go unsolved. So like I mean, he's just killing people left and he's killing all gang, and he's laughing at them. He's like literally like the guy gets killed. This is how evil this kid is. A guy gets killed, then he goes to the funeral where the people are standing outside, and he starts shooting at like the other gang members that are at the funeral. He hits one in the head, and the guy is doesn't die, but he's like now like mentally like not there 100% anymore. He was a rapper, he stopped or had to stop rapping and stuff. And he was probably also a gang member. I don't know if he killed like he I don't know if he was a piece of shit, but and they made fun of him. He made fun of him till the day he died. He made fun of everyone he killed till the day he died. He would be like, "I'm smoking, whatever. I'm smoking, blah
So how
blah."
did
Blah.
he? Well, was he killed?
All right, so he's beefing with NBA YoungBoy, right?
Can you? How was he? How did this guy get killed? What
I'm
happened?
telling you, he's beefing with NBA YoungBoy. He um one of NBA YoungBoy's guys, who I forget his name. He's a stupid rap name, but he's also a rapper.
He doesn't
He
matter. He's insignificant. His name
well,
doesn't matter.
his name don't matter, but he is not insignificant. So he says something about King Von. So King Von does a show in Atlanta, which is where the other guy was at. After the show, he brings like three of his boys with him, and he there's like four or five cars, and the one car he was in, they don't tell everyone else where they're going. So they drive to this. The rest of his entourage aren't going with him. They didn't know he even left. So King Von and three of his like gang member people. Well, they're not that. They actually are gang members. Three of them and King Von go to a club where the other guy was at, the rapper that's friends with NBA Youngboy, who called him like a bitch or whatever. King Von jumps right out of the car. He sees the guy. He runs up to him and just sneaks him. He starts punching him. He's on top of him and punching him in the head. A guy that was with the rapper who's getting beat up by King Von shoots him four times, and then King Von's guys shoot the other guy. Now they're having a shootout, like just in some hookah bar in Atlanta, and then they see that King Von's shot. They drag him into the car. They take him to the hospital, and he dies in the hospital. Yeah.
Today's sponsor of the podcast, League Island Brewing Club. Join the club. It is God's favorite beer. It is definitely not whoever the hell John was just talking about for 10 minutes his favorite beer. It's a good thing most of those people are dead, or they're half dead. Jesus. You know, it's crazy. That's like the craziest thing that's probably going on in probably all of music. And you know, who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying about these fucking guys?
Well,
That algorithm, that must have been an engaging 3-hour fucking documentary.
it was actually really great because I love it's like watching the mob documentaries, even though they feel a little
It's
closer to
not
home.
like it is to me.
Yes, it is.
It's not even fucking close.
Matthew. This one dude who was also a rapper, he gets a hit put on him by King Von. Right, five guys jump out and shoot him in broad daylight in front of a Gucci store. It is that everyone has like the news was saying um it's the most brass murder since Al Capone in the 30s. Like it's broad daylight. They just walk up and five guys just destroy this dude, and it's terrible. Like all these people are murderers. Like but it's like a crime documentary. Except
You know,
it's
they
this
don't even
guy,
make good music.
but it's this guy who I had a song on my. I have two songs on my likes. He had one song with 21 Savage that I had on my likes, and he had another song with Little Durk
Let's be real
that
though,
I had on my likes.
they're not actually good songs. They're not. It's not like it's like him and 21 Savage put out a unique song. It's like, oh wow, what a unique rap song. This is interesting. It's just
No, but
like
I
it's
think
okay. Like it's probably some very passable like like my bitch suck my toes. My bitch suck my toes.
no, it's brutal. It's not like how Chief Keef was like, we're gonna have fun, yeah. Like it's like it's very specific. Listen how I murdered this motherfucking dude. Like it's just brutal
Oh, so is it like
murder
80s rap?
rap.
Walk to the
No,
park.
but you know what though? It's
Got
you
an
know
ice cream bar.
there there's a song by Slick Rick. I forget what it's called, but it's similar to that kind. It's like a. I'm not defending it. I don't listen to like I don't. I have two songs from him that I know, and I'm not defending. I think he's a monster, but it was super interesting because they had tweets. I mean, people would be murdered, and he'd tweet about it 12 minutes later, and the police couldn't connect the dots on him. He kept beating murder charges. He beat two attempted murder charges and an actual murder charge.
All the police had to do
Listen, all
is
at the
just
same
call a
time. All at the same
Twitter
time.
sleuth.
Matthew, he had an album come out that was, I think it was 23rd on the Billboard Hot 200.
King Von, right?
Yeah, I mean, but this is while he's like literally he like meets the standard for serial killer, and he's 20. He was only like 26.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fucking crazy. Like it's really insane.
It is. It's definitely insane.
It's definitely, I swear to God, and it's brutal, and it's um like, I obviously, I'm not glorifying it, but it's just like, it's just crazy that it's happening. You know what I mean? Like, it was beating out like so many albums that were really, it's like beating Kate. This kid's like out selling like Katy Perry.
Well, let's be real. That's
Wow.
She's
I mean,
probably killed more people for her
yeah,
fucking terrible music than he
for
did.
boredom. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
No, but I look, the thing was good. Trap Lord Ross is it's a Brit. By the way, the guy who made it is a British white guy. It's a 3.5 hour documentary that this British white guy made about the most famous murderer rapper in the whole world. Like there's not a rapper that's murdered more people than him that's actually famous. It's insane.
It's crazy. It's That's pretty crazy.
So how was your week?
It's never been better after that. All that.
I don't
Um,
listen. I'm telling you, if you seen it, you would be just you'd be almost as excited. It
there
was
is
very well done.
absolutely no way I would get through 3 hours of that.
Well, you
Did you
can't do it
watch
in one
all
sitting.
3 hours?
No. Oh yeah, I
Oh,
did.
I was like,
I watched the whole thing, but
that's inspiring.
I watched it in like 4 days.
I bet there's a way you could have distilled that 3 hours down to about like 10 minutes. Like
Well,
you
there's
just
but
explained it pretty well. That didn't take 3 hours.
yeah, but I mean, like, it's so in depth on how he, like, it's not so in depth, but it's in depth on how he killed each fucking person. It goes you down to each victim. It's
You
insane.
know, um, yeah, that's just stupid. Um, but whatever. That's like the Dahmer shit. Like, who gives a fuck? Get over it
Yeah,
now.
I think the yeah, I because I don't
Not even
watch
who
that
gives a, not
stuff.
even like not saying like who gives a fuck, like disregard, whatever. It's just like, it's all just a big fucking media story. That's all. It's like no one actually cares about the lives of people that are actually affected. It's just a big media story for, you know, fat idiots like us to sit at home and go, "Wow, this is crazy." Do you know what I mean? And I'm not even saying necessarily with King Von, but like them making the show at a Dahmer. They're gonna make a show. They're gonna make a fucking. They're that they would, and I would say in 20 years still that they would definitely make a show about this fucking guy or characters based off this guy, King Von.
Well,
Out of the story you told me, that's crazy. Like, who
I
owns this
this
guy's
is
life rights? Like, they're gonna be making so much money off of his life story
I
and him
think the
being a terrible
difference.
person.
I think the difference with him technically classifying as a serial killer, and this is something that this will bring in something that you wanted to talk about a little bit, um, which is politics. But what was I saying? He doesn't he's not like killing people and eating their bodies and being weird with their bodies afterwards, but he's murdering people and he's getting away with it because of how terribly set up the inner cities are all across America, but definitely in Chicago, and it's all corporate greed. Like, it's truly the stem of it, and a lot of the stuff from the documentary would tie into how like the problems are. It's not just two guys beefing because they're in a street gang. The reason they're in a street gang is because it's institutionally fucked up for poor people in all these inner cities, and they get squeezed into these little complexes, and they could barely afford to eat, so they turn to drugs because they make money from, like, you know what I mean. And this is how it all turns out, and then that's how you get a guy like him who's just walking up to his people he don't like a little bit, and he's shooting them in the face.
This is true.
So so Matthew, explain to the people how you want to change all of this in 2024 when you run for president.
Um, First thing I would do is I would issue a moratorium um, on all work for like 6 months, and I would just give everybody a break. Um, things are really rough right now. Things are really tiring. I just woke up and you told me all that, and I've never felt worse about my life. I feel awful now. I I'm afraid to leave the house. I feel like there's a King Von around every corner now. Um, no, man, fuck the system, bro. Now I've been getting more into Democratic, the primary and all that stuff. This past week, there was a Philadelphia mayoral debate. I want to give a shout out to my man Amen Brown or Amen Brown. I like this dude. I think he's cool. Like I listened to what he had to say during the debate, and he's got a crazy life story. He was shot, so he has like a different perspective on things. Cool guy. I would say he's someone to watch over the next few years. Um,
He was debating
but
because
yeah,
so
um, you look at the landscape right now, and you look at people who are going to make changes to society. So you don't get stories like fucking monsters like King Von or whatever, who are going to be glorified because you have to understand that his culture and his lifestyle is dictated by those factors that you were saying. It's an economic catastrophe that causes people to live like that and then have those results. Um, so, with all that being said, I think the only way to do it is you have to, when you're looking at this like Democratic primary coming up, if you want to make real changes, you have to try to vote out who you don't think is going to make changes. So I am going to vote for, at least as of right now, Marianne Williamson, the Democratic primary. I think this is a fucking no brainer. Biden just announced over the course of the week, and it's just a no brainer. I mean, like he's a corporate incrementalist, and that's just not going to get anybody anywhere. Um, Trump's an actual fascist. Ted Cruz, there's proof that he was trying to overthrow the election. Came out yesterday. They're actual fascists. Um, the Democrats are spineless cowards who are basically like 80s Republicans. They're like Reaganites. Like Nancy Pelosi's like a fucking walking corpse who just wants to suck the life out of the middle class and act like she's not doing it. That's the only difference between her and Mitch McConnell is, he's openly a walking corpse trying to do it. She's trying to act like she's not trying to do it. No, 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 I'm fine. No, 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 it's okay. It's okay for me to ban stocks and do insider trading and not do a stock ban for Congress members. There's lots of shit going on right now. It's actually crazy when you look at. It's funny that the algorithm is serving you something so intensely negative like that, because that's what a lot of people's fear is with these algorithmic social media machines that are pumping content to people to get them to engage. You're more likely to engage with something very negative like that than something very neutral. Um, and if someone's not thoughtful like you, they might watch a documentary like that, and that could make them want to vote for a law and order candidate. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know the content of the documentary. It may have been progressive have very progressive undertones to it. Like this is the problems that create monsters like this or whatever the situation is. But um, I don't know. The world is fucking nuts right now. It's like this Ted Cruz thing happens, and I feel like it could be the biggest story. I mean, you literally have a member of the Senate plotting with a member of the media on running strategy on what's the right way that we could install Trump as an unelected uh, president, basically a dictator in a sense. And then you see what these fucks are doing in Tennessee, kicking 3 members out because they didn't like what they said. It's a disgrace. They're making women's lives horrible. Look what's going on in fucking Florida. Fucking dipshit DeSantis. Did you see the video of him entering I think he was in Japan or something. It's like that zoomed up shot of his face, like that's like.
no,
You see
no.
dude? He's a fucking freak. You got to look up. You got to look up Ron DeSantis Japan, and they're like, "Hey, Ron DeSantis, like something about the campaign," and he goes, "Well, I haven't said a word yet." Just like that, like just that, like that level of, is this guy on coke or what? Did this guy ride an alligator over to Japan from Florida? Like what
Oh
type of?
wow.
You see it? Fucking meatball Ron. Yeah, say what you want about Trump. He's got the best taglines in the business.
I
So
what was the thing? What was the thing that I seen that I sent to you? Oh, him. It was just him from the 2016 RNC debates when he just was coming at the whole crowd. Everyone here is a donor.
it's all the donors and special interests. I don't need your money. That's why you don't
Yeah.
like me. I don't need your money.
Ah,
I don't need your money. I donated to you people and you did what I wanted. Or like when he was debating Hillary and she's like, Donald Trump, you're a bad person. You said grab him by the pussy. I'm a woman. That was like her whole campaign. Um,
yeah.
her whole campaign was, I'm not you. That was her whole campaign. Um, and his response was, well, why didn't you and all the other people just change the rules?
You know what's fucked up?
I was just taking advantage of. And every American is gonna go, that's a respectable thing to say.
Yeah.
Like this guy gamed the system. This guy gamed these fucking greedy fuckers. The problem is, it's like he's the fucking one of the worst people in modern American history.
Who's a billionaire that is a good person? That would run for president. This is all right. Scratch that question because it probably doesn't exist. Um, I would. I'm gonna vote for Marianne Williamson in the what's his names as well.
Did you look into RFK?
I heard about him. I didn't look into him.
He's he's very tired. He can barely get it out. I think if you're Trump, we're gonna have a tough time.
I don't know if you were glitching on
That was
purpose.
No, that's RFK. That's how he sounds.
Oh,
He's like he
okay.
doesn't sound like a real person. You see him, and like there'll be like a cool headline. They'll pick like a great picture of him, and you'll actually hear him talking. You're like, what the fuck do people seeing this guy? It's just because he's a Kennedy, and he said one novel thing about like COVID vaccines, and then you listen to Williamson, and she's literally picking up where 2016 Bernie left off with every single thing. She's on fire right now. Every appearance she makes, she's quick. She knows what she wants to say, and she's there's no namby-pambying around questions that are being asked to her, and she has the right idea right now.
She buried the View people on Twitter.
She did. I didn't see that.
It was a while ago, but yeah, they were talking shit on her, calling her like a voodoo lady or something like that.
A
And she
voodoo
was,
lady.
yeah, whatever they said. And she was like, "Well, I'd love to come on your show and talk about this if you want." And they were like,
Corporate husks.
"Yeah, they ain't gonna fuck it." Oh, they're the worst.
Corporate
I'd rather.
husks.
I swear to God, I'd rather watch Fox News, whatever morning show there is, than The View.
What, Fox and Friends in the morning?
Sure.
So I watch in work, sometimes in the background. I cycle through the three major cable news networks morning shows, see what their coverage is. It's really telling. Some stations just don't cover other stories that other stations cover because they're all trying to
Nice.
push their own corporate narrative. You know, what they all have different corporations that they serve, so they all serve different corporate approved stories. So, since our last podcast, a lot of crazy shit has happened. Tucker Carlson was fired. They tried to make it seem like they parted ways, but what it really was is Rupert Murdoch came down with a fucking bow shot and fired the guy. And he didn't even fire him. They're benching him. He's still employed at Fox, but
Wait,
they're
what?
benching him. He's benched. Imagine it's what it's like. It's like you're a pro, like you work for WWE, and you're like, I don't want to work for you anymore. I don't want to wrestle. Well, you could. We're going to pay you to sit at home, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't even make media appearances. So
Holy
he
shit.
hired a lawyer. He has to go through litigation. So that's why you haven't seen anything from his side right now. I mean, I'm expecting some form of a leak about it, but Fox also just lost Dan Benino. So it's one of those things where the Murdochs are
Dan
kind of
Benino.
Dan Benino, and I lost Dan Benino. They lost him too, so they're kind of having a little bit of a drain over there. Now, fun things that are happening are too. Fucking Don Lemon got fired on the same fucking day, and as you know, Don Lemon is on the ban list. He's banned from our podcast, isn't he?
Yeah. Yep.
He was one of the first people
Yeah,
we
he
banned.
compared himself to Trayvon Martin. Jesus.
And remember, he wore the fucking. Listen, I'm not really into men's fashion. Like, I'm not like a men's fashion guy. I can't tell you anything about it. But what I can tell you is you just don't wear a hoodie and with a suit jacket over it on national TV. Like, that's just like, what are you doing? You look like a dickhead.
Yeah. Who does he think
Um,
he is? John Fetterman?
who does he think he is? John Fetterman? Can we
This
can we
shit-
just be real for a minute? Why is like what is going on with that fucking guy?
How funny. I've seen on Twitter, they were because the Republicans were like, they cloned him, and they have someone acting as John Fetterman because he's really unable to serve right now. And then someone retweeted and was like, yeah, because the Democrats just have a bunch of 6'7" people that look exactly like John Fetterman to act like him.
Oh my lord! You know,
They
you see
really,
all these people, and if you just watch the news sometimes, to me, it's so weird because it's like you watch the news and they report it as if just things happen. This happened. That's it. There's no. It could be like they'll cover a crazy story and a completely normal story the same way, like the same exact. Like it could be what you're literally just saying. Like they Republican constituents believe the Democrats have cloned John Fetterman and are performing a ruse over the public. They'll report that just like a. That's what they think.
yeah.
That's what they think. You know what gets me to this point? Like why are fucking it pisses me off that you have these absolute fucking batshit fascist fucking nut job Republicans that are running certain states and doing crazy shit. And then you have these fucking Democrats who are just like me. I know it's their job and they're paid corporate shills and their job is to pretend like they want to do things and not actually do anything. Give the Republicans everything they want. But God, is it so frustrating to watch every fucking day.
Too, I think like every question is pointed from a Republican point of view. So the
Yeah.
like even the progress like even the losers on MSNBC, they'll ask a progressive person, well, how are you going to pay for it? You know what I mean? Which is
Yeah.
like a Republican, like, I gotcha question, which is, it shows like, of course, we would save money actually if we put this in, if we put Medicare for all in. Like, we would save, it's because they're all owned and bought and sold by gigantic corporations, and the politicians are bought and sold by the healthcare, like all the what am I saying?
Big
Private
pharma.
medicine, big pharma, yeah.
Big pharma. I don't know. I just wish there was a candidate like that's why I think Marianne Williamson like I do not like Joe Biden. Um I don't hate Joe Biden. I just think that Joe Biden is someone who should have retired from public life whenever the Obama term concluded. I think that would have been a nice feather in his cap. He could have moved on with his life. He shouldn't be our president. He shouldn't be our only choice.
There should be an age. There has to be an age limit. It's so ridiculous.
It should be mandatory that you do debates. I mean, I don't care. I call things like I see them, and Trump not want to do debates, and Biden not wanting to do debates, and the DNC just and the RNC basically just going like, yeah, no debates. Like that's just fascist behavior.
Well, I think too, like
Both
it's
on
rare.
both sides.
It's rare for, isn't it rare for an incumbent to do a debate? Like, did
No,
Obama debate anybody in 2012?
no, but everyone liked him. So there wasn't, he didn't have people running against him. You do debates whenever you have challengers that poll well enough to, that are worth debating. That means voters, there's a question there, and usually they like to support that with some form of debates. Um,
I
it's just
think,
such a long-standing, like 150-year tradition to do these kinds of debates and these kinds of things. It's just fucking like I don't know. I just it's hard to see, but it's also great to see like Tucker Carlson gets fired, Don Lemon gets fired. You watch their ratings drop through the fucking like YouTube shows are more culturally important than these shows now, and you're going to continue to see that too.
oh
The
yeah,
hollowing out of the old-fashioned American media is definitely something that's um, definitely something that is going to be highlighted more and more apparent. Like TV is going to get weirder probably as they try to gain more ratings and stuff.
yeah,
It's just a
definitely.
big turbulent clusterfuck of of nonsense. But I think it's important to stay positive about things because what are you going to do? Give up? You just go, oh, okay. The world's just going to keep getting worse, and I'm not gonna. you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. When I'm dying, I want to be like, I fucking, I fought the good fight.
Yeah. Well, that's real quick because we're running out of time. That's
We are
why
running out of time.
it was upset. It was a little upsetting, which I don't blame him because he's very old and he probably doesn't have much left work wise that he can get done. But Bernie kind of succeeding uh to Biden and just saying he's gonna do what he can to get Biden reelected when Marianne Williamson is
Weak,
basically
weak,
taking
weak.
his the torch and running with it. It's just sad to see because he's such a hero and he got me into progressive politics and that was very disheartening. Um but I'm going to vote for Marion Williamson and tell people too. So hopefully that works out. League Island Brewing Club is Jesus' favorite beer. Matthew, you have anything to say to end this off?
Countrywoman is out everywhere. Go
I
listen
forgot.
to it. Don't
Countrywoman.
be don't be coy about that. Go listen to it. If there's anything, it's we call it like it is. And Countrywoman is a song that you should listen to.
One of the best country songs out
I said
now.
it.
Go listen to it.
There, I said it. Go listen to Countrywoman. Go do your own research and go support people that are actually going to actually
Change the
seem like
world.
real, even like real people. Like go support real people.